I haven't done a cannibal film yet. Well, why not start with a film that claims to be the most violent film ever made? Banned in 31 countries, it's Cannibal Ferox. Unfortunately, none of that's true, except the name. Welcome to Exploitation Reviews, and me, Rob. Today I'm taking a look at Umberto Lenzi's controversial 1981 cannibal film, Cannibal Ferox. There are lots of different kinds of cannibal movies. There are the redneck cannibal movies like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Motel Hell. There are the period pieces, the Western settlers find themselves in a bad situation, like in Ravenous or Cannibal the Musical. That one's pretty cool. But perhaps the most infamous of the cannibal films are those Italian jungle cannibal films. And Cannibal Ferox is one of those. And like many of the other Italian cannibal films that takes place in the jungle, it starts in the concrete jungle of New York City. This opening is a bit like the opening of Shaft, except instead of the ultra-cool Richard Roundtree wandering around, we get this guy. And instead of Isaac Hayes, we have to listen to garbage. Not the band, the assessment of the music's quality. Turns out this guy's looking to score some H. Unfortunately, his drug dealer Mike has disappeared. More unfortunately, he has disappeared with the money of these gangster types. And I guess the most unfortunately is these gangster types have no problem killing tweakers. Will these gangsters play a role in the plot of the movie? No. Will the cops investigating the tweaker's murder play a role in the plot of the movie? No. Will the landlord/girlfriend of Mike play a role in the plot of this movie? Again, no. That's some fine writing right here. So, let's leave them for the real plot of the movie. Finally, Rio della Amazzoni. My Italian's not so great, but I'm pretty sure this means the amazing road. Or something like that. Alright, this is Gloria, and that's her brother Rudy and their friend Pat. Gloria is a PhD student trying to prove her thesis that cannibalism has never existed, but was invented as a white imperialist way to demonize local populations. To this end, she's investigating the claims of one paper that said cannibals lived in one particular village. Showing that this one tribe in this one village does not contain cannibals will prove her theory that no cannibals have ever existed anywhere, and if this seems like spurious reasoning to you, it is. But this isn't one of my university courses on critical thinking or the scientific method, so let's let that slide. Anyway, one of the boat passengers gives them this cute dog thing, and then they disembark with their Jeep, and promptly get that Jeep stuck in the mud. They get it out, they get stuck again, they blow the engine, and then we get Cannibal Ferox's most disturbing scene.
Vacation!
Oh, I would never let that happen to you, bottom shelf bourbon. Oh, you want me to take your top off? Well, sure, if you want. Oh, yeah, baby. I can feel you inside me. Anyway, our crew is now stuck on foot. They wander through the jungle and they meet this guy enjoying some good grub. No, wait, sorry. That's grubs, plural. And then they meet Mike, the guy that the people at the beginning of the movie were talking about. So aren't you glad that we know a little bit of Mike's backstory now that we finally met him? Doesn't that make all the difference? Yeah, right. All the difference. So Mike explains that he and his partner Joe are escaping from some cannibals, and oh shucks, there goes Gloria's research project. Or maybe not. We've already established that she sucks at science. Mike's partner Joe is injured, and they decide to rest in this nearly deserted village that they find. And right before Joe dies, he tells them that they were responsible for the cannibals' aggression. Yeah, you see, they were trying to exploit them for their jewels and cocaine. Mike quickly confirms this story by being a major asshole. He tries to get Pat to kill this native girl, and then when she doesn't want to do it, he does it. What a dick. Maybe he'll find some poetic justice. So the natives show up and they paint Joe with a stick. At least that's what I thought they were doing. It turns out that was not supposed to be painting, but cutting. They eat him raw, and the other cannibals capture the rest of the crew. The natives pull out Mike and...
I called you! No!
Wow, that was pretty quick. What happened?
This man has no dick.
Oh, okay, thanks. Alright, then Rudy manages to escape, and he doesn't even try to save his sister, so he's a bit of a dick too. Let's see how well that works out for him. Well, a booby trap, some piranhas, poison dart. Bye-bye, Rudy. Okay, so now all we have left are the women and Mike, and the women are being kept in this hole. Mike digs a hole to get out of his cage, and we think he's going to save the women, but no. What a dick. Haven't you learned anything, Mike? Anyway, he runs off, gets captured again, loses another body part.
Taranja! Well, give the man a hand.
Now it's just the women. The villagers pull out Pat, and they put some meat hooks through her chesticles and just let her hang there and die slowly. It's not a booby trap, but she is trapped by her boobies. Anyway, Gloria just has to watch, completely helpless. Aww. Okay, it is a pretty gruesome scene. I admit that. Okay, then the villagers put Mike in this rather clever contraption, and they just take a little bit off the top. And now, finally, Mike's brutal ways have come to an end, and the villagers can enjoy a little peace of mind. Literally. That night, one of the nice villagers helps Gloria escape. He dies in a booby trap. She does manage to get further on and is rescued by some trappers. She goes back to New York, writes up her experiences, lying and saying that cannibalism doesn't exist, becomes a doctor. That's the end of the movie. But the important thing I want you to notice here is since she was rescued by those trappers, none of the people in the New York storyline had anything to do with the plot of this movie. It was a completely lost and pointless plot thread. That's some really fine writing right there. Let's talk some highlights. Honestly, I don't think there's much to like about this movie, except for like the gore and some of the grossness. So if you want to watch some gore and like some grossness, yeah, okay, you'll have fun with this. If you expect anything more, no. And that's it, really. I mean, me personally, I just can't look past the shortcomings of this film. Well, I've already mentioned, like, the major shortcoming that really just drives me crazy, and that's the terrible writing. I mean, this story is just garbage. I mean, it is the most amateurish storytelling I've seen in a long time. Plot threads that don't attach to the main thread, pointless characters, completely unsympathetic characters, nobody to attach to, nobody to really follow through any type of arc. Terrible. Just terrible. And that would be fine, I guess, if the movie was like fun to watch or maybe had something interesting to say. It's not, and it doesn't. Also, I didn't mention any of this during the recap part of the review, but there is some animal cruelty in this film. Quite a bit, actually. And I don't like that either. Alright, well, I guess it does depend a little bit on which cut of the film that you watch. The cut of the film that I watched had a big cat eating a monkey, some villagers slaughter a turtle, and they also slaughter a crocodile, and I think that was it. But I know from reading about the film, there are two other scenes that are in some cuts. One where that cute little muskrat thing gets eaten by an anaconda. That was off screen in the cut of the film I watched. And there's another scene where they kill a pig. That was also off screen in the cut of the film I watched, which I'm pretty thankful for, actually. Like, I know that these animal cruelty scenes give these films a more documentary feel. In fact, in the early days of exploitation cinema, of the more like crazier variety of exploitation cinema, like documentary films like Mondo Cane were pretty popular. So having these sort of animal killings in here does kind of give them that Mondo Cane kind of feeling. Okay, I can kind of see why you might want to do that, but still, I don't like them. And I guess, in defense of the film, we could say that people were less enlightened with respect to animal rights in the 1980s. But still, I mean, how enlightened do you have to be to know that it's bad to like tie a muskrat to a stick and then let a snake eat it for entertainment? I mean, that's pretty messed up. Overall, and I know that this movie has its fans and its defenders, I'm not one of them.